Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
What do you mean, trenchless?
Means no trench.
But it's the sewer line.
And they did it without ruining my yard.
The yard we're standing in?
The very same.
I don't know if I trust that.
I trust that because I trust them.
Them?
Ram Plumbing.
Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing, offering a comprehensive range of plumbing services from fixtures to installation to trenchless sewer replacement. Turn to Tucson's most trusted plumber. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
You want to protect her. You'll give anything to make sure nothing harms her. Every minute together makes unforgettable memories. Except that time you parked her under that tree and...
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Sorry, we'll never speak of it again. But remember who came to her rescue? Recon Auto Detailing. Arizona's premier auto detailing company comes directly to you. We'll make your masterpiece shine like it should, and with a monthly maintenance package, we'll keep it that way. Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wow. The most points scored in this century? 122. We were going through that list in the pregame show. Counted up what it was. I think it was like 4 times they'd scored 100 points last year, had the Arizona men's basketball team, but that was all like low 100s, like 100, 101, 105.
Well, like we discussed when we were talking about the over, when you've got 5 guys on the bench waiting to get in who are trying to get minutes, DK, then get out to a big lead, and you put in some of the reserves, and that lead doesn't exactly shrink.
Not at all. 122 to 59, the Arizona Wildcats win their opener over the Morgan State Beavers. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show with J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. We are taking your calls. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. You can interact with us on a bunch of different platforms. Our show right now is video streaming on Twitter. We are on Twitch. We are on Facebook Live. We are on YouTube at Wildcats Radio 1290 on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, at Wildcats 1290 on Twitter. If you want to watch the show, you can also interact with us with your thoughts on any of those platforms. Listen to the program at wildcatsradio1290.com on the iHeart app as well as Alexa.
I was going to say, what if somebody has an Alexa? Can they listen there?
They can. Just tell Alexa, put on Wildcats 1290. Poof. I did it the other night at home. Yeah. And it just comes right up.
We live in the future, man.
Of course, it wasn't us talking because I was at home.
Yeah, that would be weird. Except for the one time that you were, in your pajamas.
I was in my pajamas. I should have tried. I didn't think I was. My mind was too fogged to think about doing it that day. But, I'll try that next time I'm working from home. All right, we want to hear from you on this one. Just an outstanding ball game, just a winning night for Arizona basketball. Not only did the men win, the women went on the road and got a victory, maybe not quite as pretty as what the men did, but hey, they played 9 players in this game. They really played 8, but yeah, they played 8 primarily. Isis Bay got in for about 6 minutes tonight at the end, so they played 9 players were available for Adia Barnes. That alone is a win for the Arizona women's basketball team. 68-57, the ladies go over to New Mexico State and Las Cruces and beat the Aggies. So we can talk about that. If you were at that game, if you're on your way back from that game, give us a call on that, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. I'll just give you my top takeaway here, and then we'll get to the phones. But my top takeaway from this game, and there were several, I think, but Kylan Boswell is the point guard we've been waiting for.
So good.
He's the point guard we've been waiting for. Just smooth, in control. Never seems like he's too sped up. 7 turnovers for the team in this ball game. We mentioned that pregame. They needed to keep that number down, and boy, did they do that. Kylan, 7 of 10 from the floor. He had 4 3-pointers, finished with a career-high 18 points in this ball game, and grabbed 5 rebounds to go along with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think somebody asked last week about how many assists you wanted to see from Kylan, but it's not about that because of the offense and the style that they play. You got a lot of ball handlers out there, a lot of willing passers out there, DK. So only the 1 assist for Kylan Boswell tonight. But again, control, the poise, the calmness of an 18-and-a-half-year-old. This guy's not 19 years old yet, right? So, I mean, looking at him, he never gets sped up. He always makes the right reads. Just super impressed with him. Really looking forward to seeing what Kylan Boswell does moving forward against some very steep competition. It's going to ramp up real fast because I know he's got that in him. And, the best players that have those traits I just described, poise and calm and all that stuff, they always play the best in the biggest moments. So really looking forward to this season just as a whole. I think they're loaded at the guard position, loaded at the forward position, and loaded at the center position. They're just super deep, DK.
58 points in the paint tonight, 51 points from the bench, and 31 second chance points. It just seemed like early guys were crashing the boards and putting back misses. I like that. I really like looking. Let's see what the total 22 offensive rebounds in this game. That's a really good number. Yeah, and again, 14 new players from Oregon State. It's really hard to look flat stats and really take too much. But what you can do is look at the last game that Arizona played in the exhibition. 15, 16 turnovers in that first half, DK. Only 7 tonight. The effort and energy and going at that breakneck speed that they like to do. The 7 turnovers is the most impressive part of that. I think the size and length that Arizona is going to bring to the table, they're going to be winning. I think it was Rhino said this in the postgame. They're going to win the paint battle more or less every single game that they play this year. But again, the size is just going to keep coming at you. Doesn't matter what it is. And I'll tell you my biggest takeaway, I love Pelle Larsson. I love seeing him back out there, especially in the early going. He just put his fingerprints all over the game, running the court, really, really solid defense. I think the world of Pelle. I think he's great. And it's great to see him back out there after missing the last few games. Taking charges. Yeah. Love that.
It's amazing.
Love that. 15 points offensively on 4 or 5. Made all 6 of his free throws in this game. All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We want to hear from you if you're on your way home from the game. Let's start it out with Doug. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down. Thanks, guys. Hey, J-Dub and David, great to talk to you guys and kick off another hopefully fantastic U of A basketball season.
Oh, yeah.
I had to just jump on, and I wanted to be the first caller of the year because I'm just so excited for this season. And, I'll tell you, coming off of, right after Vegas last year, after the NCAA tournament, we started losing players, and that roster was looking kind of thin. And a lot of us, I trust Tommy, but a lot of us were freaking out. Like, wait, we have 7 people on the roster? Are we going to field a team? Are we going to, if we do, are we going to have to, take all the leftovers that haven't already signed with other schools? And then you flash forward, and it's like maybe the most loaded roster I can remember. I'm one of them. And it's just so exciting to see. Obviously, we're not going to beat everyone by 60 points, but, man, I just when you want to put one word on what you're seeing out of a team so far, and that would kind of be an interesting topic if you want people to call in, but my word would obviously be versatility.
Yeah.
Just versatility. You guys already hit it on. But you were talking about the strength inside. You're not going to out height us. You're not going to out muscle us. But then what about speed? You're not going to out race us down the court. What about stepping into passing lanes and steals and making it hard for guys to dribble, to breathe? What
KJ.
about KJ? Oh my God. So and when he puts in that speed lineup with one big guy inside, it could be Krivas or Ballo, and then you've got Larson at the 4, and then you've got some combination of, Boswell, Love, Bradley, and who am I forgetting?
KJ.
And KJ.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's just, like a lightning lineup. and you get a defensive rebound, and within 3 seconds you're at the other end, and the guy's on his heels trying to stop you. So there's just a lot to be fired up about.
The scariest thing to me about those lineups is KJ, Jaden Bradley, and Kylan Boswell are all plus on ball defenders. All three of those guys really get into the skin of the ball handler. So moving forward, when they kind of figure out how to play off each other, we talk a lot about learning how to play with each other offensively, tendencies and whatnot, but defense, talking to each other, understanding where somebody's going to go, they're going to figure that out. And when don't get me wrong, they had some plays and will continue to that looked really fluid. But when they all get of the one mind type of thing, I think those three guys in particular, and Caleb Love's a very good defender too, but those three guys on ball, man, I just think, Doug, the perimeter defenders with those, I don't know if there's like necessarily shot blockers, but big bodies, obviously, Krivas, chief among them. You funnel those guys into some of those bigs in the background. It's just going to be really hard for a lot of teams to score on this team.
Oh, absolutely. But even those in-between guys, the Larsons and the Borovicinins, they're going to affect shots. They're not going to give up on plays either. So I just think that there's just so many weapons. If you're one of our upcoming opponents, including the team that's going to host us on Friday, you can't be too excited the way Tommy has reloaded this roster. And it's not just the talent, but it's his imprint on the style of ball he liked to play. And for a guy like Love or Bradley, I guess Alabama probably ran pretty up tempo, but for guys that maybe were stuck in systems that were a little bit more, deliberate, to just come out to the West and just be part of Tommy's system, the up and down, free flowing, trusting the players just like Lute did. Like, yes, we have set plays, yes, we have structure, but I still trust the guys to, execute what we've been doing in practice and just find each other and that, break down your defender, find the open man, make the extra pass. There was that one where they swung it from like the deep corner all the way to the other corner. I don't remember every player, but it wound up in Caleb Love's hands at the top of the key for three. And it was just like pass, bucket. And I don't know how you defend that. It's just really exciting to see.
It is. It was just, again, I think when you look at KJ Lewis, he just seems to do a lot of things when he's out there on the floor. You talk about the defending, but then he defends and he can handle the ball in transition. Yeah. I think that was maybe the thing that kind of stood out to me today is just his ability to hand. He ended the game with 4 assists to roll in transition with the ball in his hands and find open guys to get buckets.
5 steals in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
5 steals in 17 minutes for Mr. Lewis.
And I'm just curious, how many rebounds did they credit Boswell with in the stat sheet? Because he was getting a lot of loose balls in the first half off the glass.
5 rebounds.
For your point guard to pull down 5 rebounds, that tells you he's engaged in every facet of what's happening on the court. You've seen guys from different teams through the years where they're just they're really interested in one side of the court or the other, usually interested in the offense and getting their shots. That's not Boswell. He wants to just make the team better in every way that he can.
You just said that Tommy Lloyd's system, right? And I think now that we're in year 3, the first year there was a lot of inherited players that he cobbled together into a very good team. But now you're looking at the guys that he's brought in, right? And if you look at the guys to a man, you just described Kylan Boswell's unselfishness. They're all unselfish, right? They all play team basketball. Yeah, Caleb Love came in with a bit of reputation. I saw some shots that were bad. You know when I saw him? When there was 1 second left on the shot clock and he had the ball in his hands. I didn't see any other rush shots or bad shots. It's just about moving the ball around, finding the open man.
I will say I don't think he's one of those kids that I think never met a shot he didn't like.
Of course.
He'll take shots.
Confidence, though. You want that. And your guy who's a 3-level scorer with that kind of athleticism, you want the confidence. You just don't want to see, what did you say, 36 was the high number of field goal attempts?
Yeah.
I bet you he doesn't get more than 18. It's probably going to be the high this year.
Well, there's just too much balance. There's just too many other guys. If they want to focus on shutting him down, there will be like 6 other guys that can attack you. So I think at the very first time he touched the ball today, he did just decide to pull from 3 right off the get-go, and that didn't work out. But go ahead. Shake off the cobwebs a little bit. I don't have a problem with that. One thing for each of you, I got to meet J-Dub tonight. I was fired up.
Yeah.
J-Dub hey guys out there listening, J-Dub is legitimately, he bleeds red and blue. He's a cool guy. Hope you all get to meet him sometime. I was really glad to meet you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've told this story many times. My dad was a professor of medicine at the U of A in the 60s, came out here and helped found the medical center, and then he had basketball tickets my whole life. So, I mean, I grew up in McHale Center. I was going to games in McHale Center, I was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and on. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's like a second home to me. I love that place. So, I'm a sports fan, but I'm a U of A basketball fanatic.
Yeah, and it shows. And I love that. I was just going to say before I forget about how passionate I am about U of A basketball that, I've been so wrapped up into this football season, and obviously I still am. And then I walk into McHale, an hour before the game, the seats are mostly empty, but it's like it's home. It's just like putting on an old pair of jeans to me or something. Yeah. Or I was going to compare it to like if you have maybe a favorite hotel you always go to, and let's say you go to San Diego every year, or Rocky Point, and you love this one hotel, you keep going back to it, and you just love it. To me, that's football. That's going to Arizona Stadium. But then McHale is like coming back to my house, and I just feel like it's in my blood to be there. So it just felt so great to be back.
Especially good when there's a great team on the court too, right?
Well, that helps. Yeah, that helps. But it's the history, it's the facility. I love walking in from the Richard Jefferson side over there, from the East End, and you walk through the hall.
Enter, right, TK?
Oh man, yeah. Well, not just the media entrance by you guys, but like one door down to the south of that,
sure.
Where and then you walk through all the NBA greats and all the alumni, and it just brings back all the memories. David, real quick, I was going to ask you kind of a media question. Tommy Lloyd is so funny the way he will jump on answering a question like the split second you finish asking it, or even before you finish asking it. I'm just curious, like, do you guys in the media have to practice like asking your questions in such a way that you can still like get the question out? He just have you noticed that he just wants to like start answering before you finish asking it?
Yeah, he does that sometimes. It's not any. You just kind of have to roll with it. Maybe shorten your question. Maybe not. You don't want to make it too long with Tommy. That's what I've learned. You don't want to try to keep it as concise as possible because he will jump in and start answering it before you're done.
He's an up-tempo guy, right? That's his system. Exactly. Okay, well, that's cool.
So how do you ask a high-low question, David Kelly?
High-low question. I wouldn't even know how to ask a question like that, to be quite honest with you.
Anyway, guys, I appreciate the time. I want to hear a lot more of our fans calling in this year, and I think we're ready. Bring on Duke. Let's do this.
Let's do it. Well, even if we're not ready, we're going to do it.
We're going to do it. That's true. Yeah.
Even if we're not ready,
I think we're in good shape.
And
it's one of those great matchups. You got nothing to lose, and everything to gain. So I'm excited.
Appreciate your time, Doug. Thanks as always for the call.
Yeah.
Bear down. Thanks, Doug.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. We'll get into more top takeaways from this 122-59 win over the Morgan State Bears. We'll give you our best bets, see if we're taking home any money tonight. We've got, what else we've got coming up? Our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. We'll give you that. Our most impactful rebounder. We'll give you the scoreboard, courtesy of Mesquite Valley Growers. Just a lot coming up. We'll have some highlights for you as well. 122-59, Arizona over Morgan State. With J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you by
Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog & Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
I'm Ron Arenas, the owner of Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing. As we reflect on the Thanksgiving season, we are grateful to have been serving the Tucson area for over 22 years. Your business.
continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
122-59, Arizona beats Morgan State. I don't think my dad's too happy tonight. His alma mater got beat up here in Southern Arizona. We'll take your calls. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program tonight. What'd you think of the season opener? Next up is the Duke Blue Devils. Lots of top takeaways from this one. We talked about a few, but first let's pay a bill or two. I want to I mentioned our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Tonight's glass cleaner, I'm gonna go J-Dub with Kashad Johnson.
Yeah,
as our glass cleaner of the game. He finished with 7 rebounds. He had 5 of those 7 rebounds on the offensive end of the floor. He had a pair I mentioned in the last segment. We had a lot of putback baskets. He had 2 putback dunks. He also was able to get to the line and score off of offensive rebounds in which he was fouled. So for me, that makes Keshad Johnson deserving of the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Lowest prices, biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. Keshad Johnson finishing the game 14 points on 5 of 8 shooting, 7 rebounds, 5 at the offensive end in 19 minutes. And I mentioned free throws. He made 4 of 7 from the line.
Yeah, the only argument could be for Mr. Phil Borovichinen,
he was number 2.
Also had 7 rebounds. And my guess, DK, is that might be his high for the season.
You think?
Here's the thing. I've watched so much basketball. Keshad Johnson, to me, is one of those dudes who I expect to get every single rebound in his zone.
Mm-hmm.
He is just he has such great hands. He's so physical, got great wide shoulders. He knows angles. He's just a rebounding machine, that guy. So I would not be surprised to see Keshad Johnson win a lot of the Rebounder of the Game awards. I think it's going to be a lot of rebounds for this team moving forward, and not a lot of rebounds for other teams. I mean, the length and height out there, DK, they're going to win the battle of the boards on a fairly consistent basis. I'm pretty confident in that.
Well, in tonight's game, in terms of the rebounding advantage, it went to the Arizona Wildcats 49 to 27, and we mentioned 22 of those came at the offensive end of the floor. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Once again, tonight's Window Depot glass cleaner of the game is Keshad Johnson with 7 rebounds, 5 at the offensive end. That is brought to you by Window Depot. Lowest prices, biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. So a couple more top takeaways that I had from this particular ball game in terms of the Arizona Wildcats. And I mentioned one in the last segment. KJ Lewis is just a kid who seems like he can do a lot of different things. We had talked about the defense coming in, but the thing, again, that stood out to me was him in transition. Being able to dish the ball in transition was something maybe I was not expecting him to be a guy that could facilitate like that at the offensive end of the floor. So that looked good to me. Maybe one negative thing, I mean, now, and maybe not necessarily negative, I liked what I saw from Mateus Cuevas. He had that one kind of spin move in the lane when he finished with the left hand. Yeah. But I think he needs to get a little stronger. Yeah. I saw him get swatted a couple times. He got bodied up on some shots in the lane. So I think, obviously, look, he's a freshman. That will come. Impressed the fact that he drew fouls, though, and was able to go to the line and finish at an 8 of 9 clip as well.
Yeah, 9 free throw attempts. In how many minutes did he play? He played 18 minutes. 9 free throw attempts in 18 minutes. I mean, I think we all knew coming in that there would be an adjustment period for him, adjusting to the strength and obviously the physicality on the boards. The key over there in Europe's bigger, right? And there's more space. It's a very space-based game. And obviously, so is modern basketball in America as well, thanks to Steph Curry. There's a lot of space out there. But I just, anytime you see a 7'2" guy who's got great amount of skill, but not as, isn't a Giannis type athlete, I always think that there's going to be an adjustment period to the American style of basketball. Real quick, back to KJ though. DK. 5 steals, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and a block in 17 minutes. 17 minutes. And his first game in college, about as full a stat sheet as you can get. 4 boards, 4 assists, 5 steals.
I mean, he just fills it up. He fills the stat sheet up. And I think that's he's definitely, again, at the beginning, in the summertime, I wasn't sure what role he was going to have, but he's definitely going to have a role.
You can't keep him off.
Team.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, again, there's so many veteran guards ahead of him. And that being said, I think he's versatile enough at that 6'4", 6'5" frame. He's very thick. He's got a lot of musculature, so he could move over a slot. And again, coaches will always talk about not wanting to put too much on freshmen real early. You're not going to teach multiple positions at this point of his career. But like I said last week, or I believe it was last week, I think he's the kind of guy, I know he's the kind of guy, that you don't need to worry about calling any kind of plays for, DK. He's not the kind of guy you have to worry about getting involved in any kind of offensive sets. He's just going to be a menace all over the court, whether it's offensive rebounding, on-ball defense, getting in the passing lane, or all of the above. And so having those kind of guys on your team, when you have superstar scorers and great athletes all over the place, sometimes, and he may be that eventually. We don't know what his game's going to look like, down the road. But we know right now as a freshman that he can come in, get real minutes. Now, we'll see moving forward how it goes when the competition ramps up. We'll see what Coach Lloyd wants, who he trusts out there. Because whoever gets minutes on Friday is going to be the players that he trusts. But as far as I'm concerned, watching KJ Lewis out there, he's just a menace. Defensively, a defensive menace in today's basketball is just, worth their weight in gold. I just think it's amazing to see a freshman out there with such want to on that side of the ball.
Well, we talked about minutes before the ball game. You had 11 players in this game that had 10-plus minutes. Obviously, Conrad got a few minutes at the end of the game, 12. He's probably going to be one of those guys you're referring to that probably won't get a ton of minutes against Duke. Where are those other minutes coming? I think maybe the next guy that might lose some minutes on Friday night is Filip Borvichinen. He had 13 in this ball game because I think Morauskas is obviously going to play above him.
Yeah, well, Morauskas just comes in with the physicality that Borvichinen, he's going to need to eat a few more bowls of stew or something to get to that level. I think, and again, he's just a totally different player, not comparing the two. But if you're asking about what the team might need going into a game like that, certainly having a guy with a feathery touch from outside. Currently, Borvichinen, a better outside shooter, he won the three-point shooting contest. But Morauskas adds the additional strength inside. Now, no disrespect, Philly B had 7 rebounds tonight, so clearly he did some work on the boards. I'm not even going to predict who's going to be in the rotation of these big games moving forward, as much as I just know how much Coach Lloyd has to choose from. Yeah. There's just so many options out there, and I think it'll be dictated a lot of times by style of play from the opponent. So you're going to look at not necessarily different starting lineups, but different rotations based on what you're seeing across the way, because there's a couple of guys that's a good example there is Morauskas versus Borvichinen. 2 different styles can be utilized versus different styles of opponents.
26 assists tonight on 42 made baskets. 3 players had 4. Caleb Love dished out 4. We mentioned KJ Lewis. Actually, I'm sorry, 4 players had 4. Caleb Love, KJ Lewis, Matias Krivas had 4, as did Conrad Martinez.
Conrad Martinez wakes up and he's got 4 assists. That's how he lives his life.
Right. Young guy, played 12 minutes. He had 4 assists to go along with 3 points. Hey, Grant Whiteman from South Point Catholic.
Oh, yeah.
Knocked down a bucket. I heard Brian say it's 30 points now in his career. This Grant Whiteman. Good job, Grant.
I mean, I think that the best moments, DK, are when those guys who put in so much work behind the scenes, you don't get to cheer for them very often. When those guys get in the games at home and the crowd recognizes it, those are some of the best moments ever.
We got to find. I don't know yet that there's an incredibly loved walk-on yet on this team. Like I don't know if there's a Josh Pastner or David Baga on this team yet. But Grant Whiteman might be moving towards that role. I was out of there before the end of the game, and I probably will be out of there before the end of the game a lot. So I may not be there to hear those reactions from the Zona Zoo. when some of those guys come in. But if you're in the Zona Zoo, if you sit in the Zona Zoo, let us know who that guy is. Who's that walk-on that you love? 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We're going to take a break for the top of the hour. We'll come back. We'll give you our keys to the game as well as our best bets. We'll let you hear from the players. Kashad Johnson and Kylan Boswell spoke to the media after the game. We'll let you hear that as well. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show. The opener goes in favor of Arizona in both men's and women's basketball. The men beat Morgan State 122-59. The women knock off New Mexico State 68-57. We'll give you some numbers on the women's side as well in the next hour. You're listening to the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show with JW Madden. I'm David Kelly. It's Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really matter, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Rightway will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. We will give you up to $2,000 trade-in plus 0% interest up to 60 months. Manufacturer rebates plus 10-year parts and labor warranty on a new heating and air system.
Have an aging heating and air system? Out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. And coming soon is Del Webb at Rock & Kay, a 55-plus active adult community offering a rec center, world-class amenities that promote health and wellness, and new homes with refined interiors and stunning outdoor spaces. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup.
David Kelly and JW Madden back with you after a 122-59 win for the Arizona Wildcats over Morgan State. Arizona came into this game ranked 12th in the nation. And now they'll head to face number 2 Duke, who also won tonight. We'll tell you a little bit about all the scores coming up later on our scoreboard segment. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're streaming video on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can listen to the program on your iHeartRadio app. You can also listen on our website at wildcatsradio1290.com. Let's, how about we go over, J-Dub, here, our keys to the game and what we thought needed to happen in this one.
Wildcats fans, how did today's keys to the game go for the Wildcats? Keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
Well, I know one of my keys was nobody get hurt, and I think we accomplished that. That's always a good thing when you go out there. No injuries of any sort. No one limped off. Didn't appear like any of that happened in this game, so that's a positive. The other one for me was if you were going to take a bunch of three-pointers, and I think the number I said was 25, I thought would be the number. They took 27 and made 12. You need to shoot. You better shoot 40% or more. They shot 44% in the ball game from 3, so that was good. And I believe my other one was keep it under 15 turnovers, and they only turned it over 7 times. So they accomplished everything that I thought they needed to do to have an easy victory over Morgan State.
Yeah, I think I really said a lot of words, but I really only had one key to the game, DK. And that key is to play this game like Duke was in town, right? You gotta, because there's such a tremendous upscale in the opponents coming up on the schedule. 4 top 25, well, we'll see 4 because Michigan State lost tonight in their opener, but 4 top 10 teams in the first month, right? And so my big key to the game tonight was to play defense as if you were playing against a top-ranked team. And I feel like there was a stretch there maybe early on. I think it was like 14-12, something to that effect. From that point forward, DK, they really – I remember I said it was going to be Glenn Howell again and turn off their water. So I think that certainly they did. The other one, obviously, was to just not have dumb, unforced turnovers. Turnovers happen, especially when you're working a lot of new players in. But those mental mistakes of – really, really poorly choosing to throw the ball where nobody's at, that kind of thing, mishandling the ball, all that kind of stuff. 7 turnovers tonight overall. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think we could have asked for a better performance against a team like Morgan State. You're favored by 35 points. No injuries, obviously, is key. Play your brand of basketball. Right. That was the third key that I had. So just play Arizona ball. Don't really worry as much about what the opponent's doing, because moving forward, it's going to be about imposing that will, that style of Coach Lloyd's style on other teams. And with 8, 9, 10 deep, I mean, and the height and the strength and the guard play, it certainly feels like this team is capable of imposing their will on just about anybody in the country.
I'll mention my pest of the game, which is always brought to you by University Pest Control. And that was Kieran Oliver, the transfer out of New Mexico State. He did make a couple of threes in the second half. Actually, he shot a couple of threes, but he did make a couple of buckets, I should say, from distance in the second half. But he only finished with 5 points, so he really wasn't much of a pest. And you said you were concerned about the three-point shooters. They only shot 22 and made 7. So Miles Thompson hit a few early in the game, coming up right out of the gate, but couldn't really sustain that for this team. A team
that you're favored again by 30-plus points against, if you give them any kind of feeling like they're going to be in the game, their will gets in. And the McHale crowd and all the banners hanging up there, seeing Kerr and Elliott all hanging up in the rafters, the nervous energy kind of goes out when your first 3 or 4 or 5 threes go down, DK, and then that's when teams like that get a lot of confidence. So, yeah, my biggest key was my pests was just the general three-point shooters for Morgan State, because that's the only way a team like that, forcing turnovers and hitting a whole bunch of threes, great equalizer in today's basketball, that did not pan out. Again, the perimeter defense for this Arizona team had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, and Cameron Hobbs was listed as their top player coming in, but the Wildcats really did a great job of controlling him. 0. He missed 5 or 1 of 5. He was 1 of 5 from the floor and scored just 3 points. So they did an excellent job of keeping the Bears' best guard, Cameron Hobbs, under wraps in this ball game. So those are the keys as we saw them about 4 hours ago.
Wildcats fans, that's a look at your keys to the game. They're brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, let's head back down to McHale Center and into the interview room. Let's hear from Keyshawn Johnson and Colin Boswell after a 122-59 win over Morgan State.
For first game, how do you feel it went just overall?
Definitely went really well. Everybody played really well. Coaching staff came with a great game plan for the game. Played hard, played great effort. Great game.
Very physical game early on. Just being able to go through that against another opponent, first game of the season. What was that like out there early on?
I mean, that was kind of normal. We kind of knew that would come happen. It's kind of how college basketball is. It's going to be physical in the beginning. People get tired, though. That's kind of our main focus, to make sure, keep pushing the ball. Everybody prepared for the time when it's time for us to get on the run.
Feel to play with Jaden and Caleb out there today in terms of just the guard play and the ball movement?
I mean, it feels great to play, really good guards. I know everybody can see that. Us three work well together, great connection on the court. I just got to keep working on our chemistry and just get better.
Keyshawn, how do you feel it?
Man, we play to our standard of basketball. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that we got to go to the drawing boards and fix and everything, but I'm just happy to be around these guys, I got Omar and Krivas in the front court with me. I know they protected me, and they showed that they can have my back. Guard play is heavy. We just D-team all around, so I feel like we play Arizona basketball tonight.
Do you feel that you guys took better care of the ball than in the exhibitions?
I'd say definitely, for sure. That was kind of our main focus. Morgan State, is one of the best turnover teams in the country. We turned the ball over a lot in the first 2 exhibitions. If we turn the ball over tonight, we could possibly lose. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was the difference there? Just to follow up, sorry. Like, just focus. Only 6 or 7 turnovers tonight, right? I guess.
First game of the season. Trying to prove ourselves what we can do with the ball, not turn it over. But yeah, there's more focus probably.
What's your role, given that you do so many things? You're varied. Your game's varied.
I'm just a winner all in all. I don't have like a set role. Whatever I could bring to the table, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't have to score every night as long as I'm getting rebounds and making the extra plays. That's what I want to bring to the table.
You had the one dunk. I think Krivas had one too. Where following up guys' misses. Do y'all have a feel for each other, or is it just like instinctual out there when you're doing something?
With Arizona basketball, we all family. Between the summer and now, we've been doing a great job of building our chemistry, on and off the court. So that's just what y'all seeing now, and like it's still the beginning. So it's only gonna get better from there.
Did it feel like you were only out there for 19 minutes, or did it feel more than that?
The game comes so easy being around great players. It's like time just flies. So I don't really pay attention to how long I'm out there. It's more of just how much pressure that they relieve off of me when I'm out there.
But for both of you, the ability to go as deep as you guys were able to in this game, how much do you think that's going to keep you fresh, especially for the next game, which is going to be a much more challenging opponent on the road?
I would say we just have strength in numbers. When it comes to March and early April, that's what you need. You need strength in numbers. Anything can happen. God forbid. But once you got a deep roster, we know we can rely on our brothers to step up.
Krivas' night out there seemed to be all over the place in terms of offensively and then blocking shots on the defensive end.
A lot of people don't know how good he actually is. We play with him every day. He's a big guy. He moves his feet very well. So y'all gonna this only the surface of what y'all seeing. It's a lot more that Krivas could do.
What do you think he's learned the most during this short time? Obviously, it's just game one, but how have you seen him grow?
I've seen him grow all in all, his confidence, Tommy and the coaching staff, they do a great job of just telling him to be aggressive. He have a quiet persona to him, but, they trying to bring that killer, everybody. Even me and Kyler, we all trying to bring that killer out of him, and it's coming very soon.
Now that this is over with and the big game coming up, just how you feel about going to Duke?
it's the first game that's next up. So we're gonna go to the drawing board, try to fix everything, and we all know what the name that Duke has. You know, we just gonna try to play the highest standard of Arizona basketball and try to come up with the win.
How much does it help having a guy like Caleb Love, who's been in that stadium, played in those types of environments, and knows what that place is about?
Caleb Love, he's been there, you know. Caleb Love, he's very vocal with helping us out, helping our younger guys out, and you know, he just installed like the fact that we just got to be ourselves, you know. Don't get caught up into the outside noise, you know. Even just coaching Colin up, you know, I see it every day. So we just all make each other better and just more comfortable as teammates.
Is it fair to say that the backcourt as a whole is more aggressive as a group than last year, than the guys you had?
I would say that all of us bring like just different aspects than we had last year, and we just use it to our advantage. Those two different backcourts, two different situations. But yeah, for sure, everybody just brings what they got to the table and plays their best role.
Speaking about Caleb, has he said anything to you guys, or do you expect him to, as far as like what to look for this week or what the place is like?
It's not about just what he's saying, just about just him keeping everybody head on straight, you know. Just he's a leader along with myself and Kylan and everybody else, you know. We all lead, so it's not like we're not worried about anything. We just gonna go out there and be ourselves.
Feel like are you anxious to play this coming up this quickly in the season?
I would say we're anxious to play any game that's next up, you know. We go to the drawing boards, we prepare, and we get ready.
For sure.
All right, that is the players after the ball game, and it was a win for the Arizona Wildcats, 122 to 59. It sounds like they're ready. They're ready to get on that plane and go to Durham and really test themselves out against a really good team. And interesting the talk of how these guards are more aggressive than last year's, than what we saw last year, and I think that's very evident. Like you mentioned earlier, from the defensive end, the way that they play defense, and at the offensive end, and in just being not afraid to take the ball to the bucket.
Yeah, and there's a lot more athleticism among this group of guards than we've seen recently. And so when you factor that in, a talk about getting to the second level, you know, getting into the paint, that kind of stuff. In addition, that all of them seem as if they're very willing passers. I mean, that wraparound that Caleb Love had to Boswell for that layup, that was like the fifth pass in that offensive set. And, you know, a lot of people might have tried an up and under reverse right there, but it was just a little easy layup, a little easy layoff, should I say, and a quick, easy bucket for Kylan Boswell. To me, the biggest difference will be the depth, because we were just talking off air. Last year, when Kirk Kriisa had some nagging injuries, Kylan Boswell filled in at that point guard role. If he got in foul trouble, DK, like what were they going to do after that? So now you got talking about especially bringing in Bradley, Love, KJ can handle the ball. Clearly, there's a lot of ball handlers on this team. Not to say you want all those guys to be your one guard, but in a pinch, there are so many more people on this team who can fill into different roles. And so, therefore, you can be more aggressive, because when you're aggressive on defense, there's a tendency to pick up early fouls. And if Kylan Boswell, for instance, is very good with his hands. Kylan Boswell might have some of the quickest hands I've seen, especially for a guy that age, and really strong hands. So if he gets his hand in there, he's going to pick you. There were times last year where you had to maybe not be as aggressive. You remember the final game against USC where he stripped their All-American 3 times in a row and fouled him out? Like, that's the level of defense we're talking about here that he's capable of. Yeah. But when there's nobody behind him, he might not be able to be in, get his hand in that cookie jar. So, yeah, moving forward, I just think they have the depth to be as aggressive as they want to out there on the perimeter, because there's just a lot of them, and they're all very versatile.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's get in another break here. We'll come back. We will give you, we'll see how we did on the betting side. I told you I'm not really good at betting on basketball, but we'll see how we did there. We'll hear from Tommy Lloyd as well, give you your scoreboard, all that still to come here. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day Post-Game Show. Wildcats beat Morgan State 122 to 59. Most points scored by an Arizona basketball team in this century since the year 2000. You have to go all the way back to 1998, they said, to find an Arizona men's basketball team that scored in a basketball game like they did
That
tonight.
team, I think, was ranked number 1 for like 70% of that season. Too.
Yeah. And I think I heard Brian say they did that in Pac-12 play. Scored 127, I think it was, in Pac-12 play. All right, with J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control. Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
122-59, the final score tonight at McHale Center. Opening night for the Arizona Wildcats here in 23-24. The most points scored in this century by an Arizona men's basketball team. And let's find out if we won any money on them tonight.
Just give me 1 second.
Okay. I think I won some money. I'm not sure if J-Dub won any money, but he might have won a little bit of money on this Arizona Wildcats basketball team tonight. I told you, though, I don't really know a whole lot about betting. I'm much better at betting on football than I am betting on basketball. So we'll see if we can get good at that this season.
Tucson, what happened with today's best bets? Did the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, the Wildcats were favored by 31.5 points in this ball game. J-Dub laid the 31.5. DK laid the 31.5. So that's 2 tickets cashed right there as the Wildcats won this game by 63. I'd like to see, we haven't gotten any post-game notes on, like, if that's a high margin of victory. I can't remember too many 60-plus point wins lately.
I remember when Arizona beat USC like by 57 one game and like 48 the other game. So their combined margin
those weren't the games
victory,
when I was in school.
Yeah, it was like 1988 that year.
Oh gosh! Thanks for reminding me about that, J-Dub. I was at McHale Center for one of those games.
Sean Elliott was really good.
He was. The 122 points are the most in a season opener for the Wildcats since 1990.
Wow. It was Chris Mills.
21 turnovers forced, 14 steals, 5 blocked shots by the Wildcats. And how about Umar on that breakaway dunk?
Yeah.
In the second half.
He looks
on the steal. Remember when Koloko did that?
Yeah.
Koloko did that. I think he did it against ASU.
Yeah.
Had like the breakaway, had the steal and the breakaway dunk.
Yeah, every center wants to be a point guard.
I didn't have my camera rolling. I was very upset on that one. I did not. I was messing around with something else, and I completely missed that play. But that's okay. It's all over the internet.
The logic, by the way, behind the Cats covering the spread, from my perspective, is just the depth. Because you're talking about 3 guys from last year, a lot of new players, a lot of guys looking to get in that rotation, try to prove to the coaching staff that they're ready to go. So as soon as you get it, there's not going to be a drop-off when those bench guys come in, especially 1 through 9, 1 through 10. So when you see a 30-point lead, in general, a lot of teams that are going 7 deep or whatever, those 8th, 9th, 10th guys come in with this 30-point lead, you might see it trickle away. But this group, DK, they're out there to prove something. They're out there to prove that they're ready to get in the rotation, get into the big games coming up.
And what did we say the over-under was? Was it one?
It's like 153.
153.5. Yeah, it was 153.5.
I thought Arizona might score that on their own there for a little while.
Right, exactly. 181 was the total. We both took the over on this game, and that was what happened. So 2 cashed tickets for both J-Dub and DK in this one. It was a winning night on the betting front.
Those are today's best bets. They're brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
520-848-1290. Still time to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. You can also text us as well at that number. We had one gentleman that checked in. He goes by LFG. Bear TF down. Interested to see how these Euro imports look in 23-24 Arizona college hoops. And he's got three pairs of those big eye emojis.
That's a lot. 3.
he's got his eyes wide open on this Arizona team this year. Let's talk to Mauricio. You're on the Arizona Meridian Wealth Management Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hello. Yes. Thank God for Jesus who can save from hell and get to heaven. Yeah, that's incredible. You know, it's amazing. The points scored at 122. Like, you can remember since Tommy Floyd scoring in the 90s, flirting with 100, and then when we reached the 100s, it started being like common, and you can tell that like the U of A could score like the NBA team, you know, like the Phoenix Suns. That's the Phoenix Suns. There score 122, and in 63 margin. Yeah, that's amazing. Like you stop to think and say, when did we? That's the most points we've ever scored, and this is like the second one, the most highest. Yeah, it seems it's amazing for the college level, and how what way to be ready too for Duke. It's good like a tune-up, you know, like a heavyweight tune-up fight for the championship. You know, that team too.
I think it was a high-scoring night in the NBA, Mo, as well. I mean, maybe it was just a high-scoring night. A night to score. Was there a full moon, maybe? The Warriors scored 120. The Pacers scored 152.
The Pacers put 152 on the Spurs and held Wemby to 3 for 12.
Oh, my God.
Because Miles Turner is one of the best shot blockers in the NBA. So it was the first time Wembanyama actually came up against a legit. I don't know about his other games. I'm sure there's been other guys. But Turner is one of the premier shot blockers. I saw a couple of highlights from that. But, yeah, 3 for 12.
The Sixers scored 146. Embiid had 48. Wow. Bucks had 129.
NBA.
Bulls
NBA
had 130. Rockets had 122. Thunder had 126. Nuggets had 134. And, hey, Nikola Jokic, only another triple-double, 35, 14, and 12. It was a high-scoring night all across basketball, Mo.
It looks like some of these athletes we have will be playing on Sunday, too, like Sean Elliott and Steve Kerr. They were on that team where maybe not in 90 or 98 was the last time. Probably they weren't there, but it was a high caliber team.
Yeah, the last time they played in the Final Four, they played Duke.
Yeah, this is what, Saturday?
Friday.
What way to be ready? We can compete, you know, with any team. We were ranked number 1, like 2008 or 11. Wow, we're on there.
Yeah,
we're ranked number 1, and we're like looking like that again.
Who's your favorite
team ranked now?
Football, yeah, they're ranked 22nd?
23rd.
All right, yeah, we moved up to top 20, 25, getting up there, yeah. What was the question?
I was just saying, who's your favorite player on the basketball team this year? Who do you like?
Is Barlow there still? Barlow?
Boswell. Yeah, Boswell.
Ballo.
Oh, Ballo.
Oh,
yeah,
Ballo?
Ballo.
Yeah, he's my favorite. He can dunk and do that Michael Jordan tongue and dunk. Yeah, he's talented too. He's just talented.
Oh yeah.
Remember Deion Sanders? He was super talented. He was running. It looked like everybody would run in slow motion when he would be running, even dropping the ball, getting it again, and just.
Yeah, but that wasn't fair because Deion's knees were so high that he was going farther faster. So he was like cheat running, right? That's not how that works. That's why he's so fast.
Super talented. That's God-given talent. Yeah, you know, someone has to God give it to, and you look at the running back too. Mike Allstott, he was talented, super talented too. Bounced off people, juked people, and he made like the 100 most or best runs in the NFL. Marshall Lynch got number 1.
Oh, Marshawn Lynch.
And he ran over my team, the Saints. And it was number 4 or 7 was the Diesel, John Diesel, in the Super Bowl. And then Steve Young had like number 4. McCaffrey, yeah, he's had some great runs too. Yeah, he's a warrior. He can run and catch and score touchdowns. Like a Barry Sanders, he can go the distance any moment. Like the one that won that turban with the Cowboys, the kick returner, played with the USFL. He can.
Wasn't Dion a
go
kick
all the
returner
way
for the
to-
Cowboys?
He was.
Yes, he was.
And a punt returner.
Yes. Yeah. He remember a kicker caught him because he got tired. He said, their kicker was flying too. Then I could remember a lineman. You could see a running back running very fast. I think it was Detroit and Baltimore maybe. And the running back was flying. All of a sudden, you see a lineman running back of him, like when Randy White caught a running back. Yeah, they're amazing. The players, the athletes. In '97 too, nearly caught Lamar Jackson too. He's very versatile. They're very versatile now. The athletes.
I grew up,
It's
DK,
amazing.
in the Bates Brothers era.
The Bates brothers?
Bates
Oh,
brothers.
Bates. Oh, yes.
Yeah, all the
Mario
Olympic.
and
Yeah,
Mario Bates and
exactly. The Olympic
Michael.
sprinters and kickoff returners coming
Yeah.
out of Tucson.
That was a good one. Hey, Mo, we appreciate your call. We look forward to hearing from you after a win over Duke on Friday night.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, and God bless us all, and we'll have fun watching the games, the sport.
There we go. We'll watch them for sure. All right. Let's get a break in here. We'll come back. We'll give you your scoreboard and hear from head coach Tommy Lloyd. And all of that coming up next. We will have it for you. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show with J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Game show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
What do you mean, trenchless?
Means no trench.
But it's the sewer line.
And they did it without ruining my yard.
The yard we're standing in?
The very same.
I don't know if I trust that.
I trust that because I trust them.
Them?
Ram Plumbing.
Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing, offering a comprehensive range of plumbing services from fixtures to installation to trenchless sewer replacement. Turn to Tucson's most trusted plumber. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez of Meridian Wealth Management, and I'd like to invite you to our complimentary retirement income workshop held every Friday at 10 a.m. in our offices at the Williams Center. We discuss the key risks in retirement, how retirement has changed, and how to best plan for success. A recent study showed 60% of retirees would go back and plan differently if they could. We want to help you avoid the would've, could've, should've. Call our office at 719-1433 to reserve your seat today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives.
Postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
122-59, the final score. Wildcats win it. Let's hear how it sounded tonight at McHale Center.
Here goes Caleb. Take it down quickly for the Wildcats. Almost had his shot blocked. Well, it was blocked, but he gathered it back to Boswell. Back to Love for three. Back of the air, no good. Long rebound tipped out. Saved by Boswell. He'll try a triple. That's good. There's your first Lexus of Tucson Charity 3 for the season. Hello. Bats out the rebound, and it's grabbed by Boswell. New possession. Cross court, it goes over to Love. Bounce inside, Barlow. Open, and slam two.
Ball reversal after the extra possession created by the offensive rebound.
Wildcats will re-inbound now, and Bradley will trigger there, looking for Love, and he'll catch it almost the same spot. Looked at the shot, moves his way into the paint. Skip pass, right corner. Out to Lewis. Bradley, top. Love, open, drains a three. Tops will bring it down. They got to go Tops and Tabs. Tops, and his pass stolen away by Lewis. Off to Bradley. Lay it up and good. Jaden Bradley with his first 2 points as the Wildcats on an Arizona steal. Inside, Krivas, pump fake again. Lay it up, missed no good. There's Keishad with the rebound. Missed the follow, and Borovichin chases it down. To Boswell for three. Bang! There's three more for Kylan Boswell, his third Lexus of Tucson Charity 3 here tonight. There for Edwards. Feed it left side. Thompson, another three is good for Miles Thompson. Bears looking to make a run here at the end of the first half. Tab step back three, short front of the rim. Rebound Boswell. Cats on the run. Boswell bounce pass Larson. Pella lays it up and good. Against Oregon, here's a drive inside. Shot blocked by Johnson. Rebound off to Lewis. KJ down full court left to a trailing Bradley. Bradley crossover into the lane. Bounce pass. Krivas laid up. Good. And Mo to the line for one more.
Final score 122-59 for your Arizona Wildcats. Let's take a check of your scoreboard right now.
The Pac-12 scoreboard is brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
All right, just gone final at Poly Pavilion. UCLA beat St. Francis of Pennsylvania 75-49. It was USC in the Hall of Fame series, knocking off Kansas State 82-69. Boogie Ellis, 24 points for the Trojans. Bronny James says he hopes to clear an exam and play this year at USC. Oregon beat Georgia 82-71. Nafali Dante, 16 points and 21 rebounds to open the season for the big man for the Ducks.
A lot of good bigs in this conference.
Oregon State knocked off Linfield from, what was that, McMinnville?
McMinnville, sure.
McMinnville, Oregon,
Yeah,
82-46.
southwest of Portland.
There you go. Oregon State wins big over Linfield College tonight. Colorado beat Townsend at home 75-57. California squeaks by St. Thomas of Minnesota to give Mark Madsen his first
I'm
win.
so hoping they turn it around. Here's my thing. If
Okay.
you don't know, DK, I just think Cal should never be a bad basketball program. Think about how many great guards have
they've
come out
had-
of Oakland, right?
yeah.
I mean, all of them. So many great guards, including Dame Lillard, right? I mean, the list is just endless. Gary Payton and his dad did a lot of the training out there, but it made me sad to see how bad the Cal Bears were last year.
The only other team in the Pac-12 to score 100 points tonight was Utah. They beat Eastern Washington 101-66. It was Stanford over Cal State Northridge 88-79. Washington State beat Idaho, their little brothers, to the east over in Moscow.
It's a good town.
84-59. The Cougars get the win there. I'm sure that's a big rivalry every year.
Ever been to Moscow, Idaho?
I've
They've got
yeah. I have
they
to
got
tell
a lot
you that
some
story
good pies.
sometime.
Marion Berry pies out there, really nice.
Yeah, hung out there one night. It went well. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Washington beat Bellarmine 91-57. That is your scoreboard in the and let's mention as a part of this segment that the Arizona women's basketball team won 68-57 over New Mexico State. Brea Cunningham, 6 of 7 from the floor, 12 points, 10 rebounds in 20 minutes in her first college game. Kaylin Gilbert had 16 points and 9 rebounds for Arizona. Maya Naji finished with 15 points. Arizona shot 49% from the field, but they made just 5 of 20 3-point shots in the game, and they turned the ball over 26 times.
Wow.
So got to clean that up to do the ladies who will now come home for 3 straight home games.
And the only national score worth noting, obviously,
Oh.
the Spartans fall
lost
at home in overtime to James Madison. Now, here's the joke I've been seeing all over the internet. You know, Michigan State's ranked number 4. James Madison was the 4th president. So there's some connection there. But 79-76, the number 4 ranked Michigan State Spartans fall in their home opener.
Yeah.
To James Madison.
Number 1, Kansas did win tonight in their opener, as did the next opponent for U of A. The Duke Blue Devils at number 2 beat Dartmouth from the Ivy League tonight. And their big man, Filipowski, scored 25 points and grabbed 7 rebounds. We'll get much more into their lineup. Kylan Boswell is so under the radar that he doesn't even have, on ESPN, they do top performers.
Right.
And they have pictures. There's no picture of Kylan Boswell.
Do you know why?
He is so under the radar.
He didn't play on their network. They only put guys up who played on
really?
one of their Disney-branded networks. That's how that
okay.
works.
All right. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's been that way for about
Did not know
23 years, I think.
San Diego State, we'll mention them. They also won 83-57, Keshad Johnson's old team, and they went to the finals last year over Cal State Fullerton. And NAU actually went on the road and played a ranked team. Northern Arizona went to Stores and played number 6 UConn.
It's a tough trip.
Yeah, they lost 95-52. Who was the leading scorer?
Was it Coach Lloyd's son?
It was indeed Coach Lloyd's son, Liam, led the way with 15 points, 6 of 13 shooting. Liam Lloyd, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals.
You think Liam Lloyd likes skiing?
I don't know.
I mean, he lives in a place where you better.
Yeah, Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good job, Liam. We'll have to ask Coach about that I don't know if we'll hear. Let's hear from Coach. We'll only get a little bit of this.
Well, before we do
play
that, that is
the scoreboard. Yes.
That's been the Pac-12 Scoreboard, brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
All right, we'll get some of this Tommy Lloyd in today. We'll play the rest of it for you tomorrow because we're running out of time on this show. But here's the head coach.
Good to see everybody. I'll let you guys start off.
Good way to start a season. A lot of points. Good defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm more focused on the effort and energy. I thought, for the most part, we hit that standard today, and that's something we really want to establish. But as our guys know, it's the first chapter in a long book. So, you don't get awards for how you play in your first game, and I think we have a mature group that understands that, and I think we're looking forward to the next game, and seeing what we can do.
How much did it help having Pella out there today?
Oh, Pella's a great player. I mean, his experience in our system is so valuable, and he plays so hard and so smart. I just think having him out there, the more and more we get him out there with those other guys, kind of in this crucial early part of the season, we're going to get, you get real reps. And when you get real reps, you can really dig in and learn things from them. A lot of positive things you can learn from those reps, and sometimes negative. So I love having him out there because it makes our team whole. And he's just a heck of a ball player, and I'm honored to coach him.
Was he on a pitch count or anything minutes wise?
Pitch count minute wise, we just combined two sports there. Okay. Listen. The objective was to win the basketball game, and. I don't know if we really had a pitch count or anything specific on them.
How important is it to keep your foot on the gas in a game like this? You get up early at halftime, and
well, you're trying to establish a standard, and you have a lot of guys who've never worn the Arizona uniform in a real game, so we really want to hammer home what our standards are, and I think for the most part, our guys. Check those boxes. I'm looking for effort, I'm looking for intelligence, and I'm looking for unselfishness. And for the most part, I think we had a lot of plays that exemplified that today.
Only 7 turnovers, an emphasis that the players said of trying to be more focused and more careful with the ball. Were you satisfied with that part?
Yeah, 7 turnovers is a tremendous number, in a high possession game. And, I think the offensive rebounding was something else we really emphasized. So, if you can, control turnovers and create second opportunities on the offensive glass, that's a pretty, dynamic, combination that's going to allow you to be really efficient on offense. So I was proud of our guys. The message was heard. Last, I think, exhibition game where we had 20-some. And, that's obviously not good enough. So, but that's why you play those exhibition games. You're not looking for perfection. You're looking for opportunities to learn. And so I think I was proud of our guys for learning that lesson.
it feels like this backcourt is much more aggressive in trying to get to the basket than maybe last year's was. Is that something that you looked at when you brought in guys like Caleb and Jalen?
Yeah, we having guards that can make layups is a huge advantage, and I'm not saying that lightly or making a joke because it's really hard to do in high level basketball. To have guards that can finish 2-point shots at the rim is really, it's kind of rare. So to have a few guys that have that ability, and we still got to get better. I think we missed a couple layups for those guys today. It's something we work on the daily, I think it's going to be a real added weapon. To our arsenal that'll, show over the course of the season.
Umar's race to the basket there too.
That was good. I thought he gathered himself, and collected himself. Whenever you see a big guy out in transition like that, sometimes you take a breath just because, they're putting their body in a position it doesn't get into very often. And I even mentioned that to Phillip when he tried that over the top pass to Krivas. It's just those guys just don't get those repetitions like other guys do. So you kind of take a little bit of a deep breath and hope for the best. So, I'm glad both of those turned out okay for us.
Tommy, you were able to play a lot of guys tonight, but Friday, do you already have a sense of your rotation now that you could probably have to cut it down?
We'll talk about it as a staff, and we'll do what we feel gives us the best chance to win that game. But, I wouldn't use it as an indicator, for final decisions being made. For me, we have 6 starters, and I'm comfortable. You could probably give me 4 combinations, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm good with that. And so we kind of settled in on one tonight, and we'll see what we do moving forward. Some of those other guys off the bench that are kind of, earning their opportunities and learning their way in our program are really good players. And I don't want to sell them short.
All right, that is the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd, after the game. We'll have that up on our website a little bit later at wildcatsradio1290.com. We'll have to keep an eye on Pella Larson's snap count in the game Friday against Duke.
Yeah. I mean,
see if he can play a few more snaps on Friday.
No, I think I'm really worried about him getting down 30 love is my biggest concern.
Great stuff from the Arizona Media Room tonight. That is going to wrap up our show here tonight. Final score, 122-59. We said during the summer, when we win, we're going to party. Take us home. 80, is that 87, 88 team? 88.
Oh, yeah. 87, 88.
87, 88. Take us home, guys.
Make the offense flow. I'm going to find the open man and get the ball down low. And Cook Gasol plays the game like only Sam can do. Give me the ball and stand back and watch me jam 4-2. Elliott's here. It's time to play. They want me in the NBA. When Tolbert plays, he plays to win. I put it up and it goes in. Give Kerr the ball, give Kerr a hand. I'll drill it in from three-point land. Ask the Gumbies, ask the refs. We don't do drugs 'cause we're the best.